Hello, and welcome to another day of Living with Spina Bifida.
Hi.
Now today I am starting another new segment. It's not going to be an every Monday segment, but every once in a while when I have new ideas to share with you. But we are going to start Meals Monday, where I will share with you different meals that I have prepared for myself or my family and that I think are worthy of showing to you guys. Today, my little family and I threw a little picnic get-together, little fun thing at our house for family, friends, and neighbors, celebrating the end of summer and kids going back to school and happiness and health and good times. So I thought I would share with you what we prepared for the picnic. It's already done, but I brought everything out that we had at the picnic. And I will also share with you some tips for either throwing your own picnic, cookout, get together with food involved, or going to a picnic or get together or anything involving around food to try and stay on your healthy track with what you consume. And also, in the Spina Bifida community, food and what we put in our bodies is kind of really important because of our intestinal issues, our weight issues, being not able to be as active as everyone else. We have to keep in mind what we put in our bodies a little more than others so we can try and keep on a healthy weight and a healthier lifestyle track. So here we have all of the items of food and drinks and whatnot that we had at the picnic. Either we provided or the guests provided it for us. They brought something along to share with others. We have the tasty treats of cheesecake and snickerdoodle cookies. Ooh, picnic style potato salad. Because it's a picnic, you can have potato salad picnic style. And for sandwiches, we served sandwiches rather than cooking up something hot on a hot day. So we had Colby Jack and cheddar cheese and a turkey and ham combination for meat. Some garden grown cucumbers and some garden grown tomatoes. Some cantaloupe and grapes. There's some beans hiding in there. And then there's choices of white and wheat bread and choices of different kinds of chips. And then we have different choices of pop. And there's always water to drink. And the kids had Hawaiian punch as an option. But there's also lemonade as an option. It just looks like a pat can, but it's lemonade. But yeah, here are all the tasty treats and good foods to eat. It's a pretty fairly balanced meal for a little lunch. Alright, now I have a few tips for those that are going to attend a picnic or a cookout or anything related to food, and some are tips for if you're just going to go to it or even if you are throwing the event yourself. The first tip is kind of self-explanatory, but you can always bring your own dish that is a healthy option. That way you know that you're going to be putting something healthy into your body because you brought it, you controlled what it was, and That way, other people might be influenced to eat something happy and healthy too. Tip number 2 is another slightly self-explanatory thing, and a lot of people nowadays are choosing to be healthier and eating healthier, so it is a lot easier to make better choices even at picnics and cookouts. So you want to load your plate up with the healthiest options that you can, and then try to stay away from the junk food, try to stay away from the carbs, but if you can't resist, just keep them to a minimum portion, just a little bit, a little taste here and there. Tip number 3, skip seconds. You don't really need to stuff your face just because it's a cookout and oh, maybe it's just the one time. But that's not the best way to have a healthy mind. Oh, it's just going to be the one time. Why does it have to be any time that you have to stuff your face and feel miserable at the end? Just because it's good food doesn't mean you have to eat all of the food. So skip the seconds and just satisfy yourself the first time around. The next tip is to stay hydrated. That's important for any day. You always want to stay hydrated, especially in the summer months because it's hot, you sweat a lot, especially if you're going to be outside at a cookout. Your bodily fluids aren't going to be as up as they normally would because you're hot, you're sweaty, it's gross. So just stay hydrated. And if you go to a cookout or a picnic, you should always bring your own water bottle so then you are reminded in your own mind to refill your bottle and to stay hydrated. Or if they have water bottles, bottled water as an option, then you can just keep refilling your bottled water. Indulging is not the worst thing that you could do, but choose your indulgences wisely. Some cookouts are at night. Some cookouts have alcohol. So if you plan on having alcohol, maybe you want to skip the dessert because alcohol has a ton of sugar in it. So if you want to stay on your healthy path, you want to either pick one or the other, just not all of it. Another tip is don't hang out by the food table. If you hang out by the food table, you're likely to just sit there and keep picking off of food, and you're just going to keep grazing and just stuffing your face, and you might not even think about it, and by the time you realize it, you have eaten a whole cheese plate. And then nobody's happy. Your tummy's not happy, you're not happy, the host isn't happy because he ate all the cheese. So just be careful. Go sit down with your food and go in another place away from the food table and just eat what you got. Take the focus off of the food. Don't make food the only point of having a gathering or a get-together. The whole point is not to sit around and stuff your face with other people. Get an activity going. Get some board games. If it's an indoor thing, maybe you get a sprinkler or a small swimming pool, or you could have water balloons or some sort of outdoor game if you're going to have it outdoors. Or music, somebody could start some dancing. Or if it's an option, you could have a fire and you could eat the food and then go over to the fire pit. You don't have to just sit around and eat food. You have conversation, you have fun, you have good times, and it doesn't have to be just about eating food. Now, if you are the one that is hosting, here are some tips for what to serve instead of something else. And you could always ask people to bring dishes to pass around if you are afraid that you might serve things that people aren't going to be happy with. Because some people don't care for being healthy and they just want to eat. So one tip that I have is to have options. Like I had white and wheat bread as an option. I had chips and I had vegetables. So if people weren't into the vegetables, they could have chips. If there's kids there, they could have whatever, fruits. They could have chips. They could have a various option of things. So like I said, you could have, instead of chips and dip, you could have a veggie tray with guacamole or hummus as the dip. Or if, some people aren't into that, you could still have vegetables and you could have dip, maybe a low-fat dip or something like that. If you're grilling out, a lot of people, including myself, eat veggie burgers now. So maybe cook up a few veggie burgers as an option for people. Cook chicken or turkey burgers if you don't want to have a meatless burger. But get some lean protein options if you are cooking out. Even grilling certain vegetables is a good idea if you're grilling out. Side salads are always an option. People always like side salads, so why don't you whip up a side salad or two for everyone. If you don't want to serve pop as your option, you could always have water, but you could always add flavor to it by adding some fruit, or you could even have sparkling water or iced tea or lemonade. So there's a quick little video about how to have the happiest, healthiest picnic or cookout that you can, because I know picnics are a thing that's going on right now. So I hope you guys make the best choices when you go to these or when you host one yourself. So until next time, bye!